What up, guys? That Comic Awesome here, doing another review, doing The Flash, number 43, and what can I say? I mean, The Flash is probably one of the most consistently good series that I'm currently reading, and I think that in part is due to how much I like the character of Barry Allen. He's a very damaged and selfish person. But that doesn't mean his heart's in a bad place, but he does, I think, a lot of the motives and the way he goes about things generally come from a lack of trust of everybody, and it reflects kind of, him wanting to hold control so much. And that's really what this story arc is about. So thus far, Grodd is back. He is dying of a disease, and the only thing that can cure this disease is the Speed Force. A little bit of a MacGuffin-y type thing. But he manages to steal Barry's power, Speed Force, and that helps him a little bit. But he wants all the Speed Force for himself. So the other speedsters, Kid Flash, Barry lets Godspeed out, Wally and Avery are now trying to fight, or trying to figure out how to fix this situation. OG Wally West is getting everyone out of the city. Kid Flash and Avery are trying to see if they can convince Mina to switch sides, and Barry lets Godspeed out to kind of give him the moral warm and fuzzies about what he's about to do. And that was one of the things I really liked about last issue. So at the end of last issue, Barry successfully activated a lightning rod, which then restored his power, but also at the same time unlocked Grodd's full potential. Not full potential, but potential. And then he was able to control the rest of the kind of Flash family. And that's where this really picks up. But yeah, I think what Barry does best is, again, he's flawed. He learns from his mistakes, and then he usually does them again. But again, it's usually a good kind of, like, you see some character growth, which you don't get in a lot of newer superheroes, where they are just a lot of fluff. So let's kind of jump in. The first thing I noticed about this issue, the art was so much better than the last issue. It a lot more consistent, and I really enjoyed it. So we kind of pick up with Barry kind of on the run, and he's just saying some random stuff. And at first you're kind of like, well, what's he talking about? Is this kind of like a plan? But you can see Grodd is like, look, you're trying to drown me out. It's not going to work. I'm always going to know what's in your head. And so it attracts the other four speedsters to fight him. So this is, I'm going to kind of skip a little bit. There's some really great stuff with Wally. But I want to skip to here, where Grodd is, back, confronting Barry. And he's like, look what you've done. This is pretty much all your fault, because you've had this obsession with power, and you couldn't go without it. This is all your fault. And then, so he said, I thought you knew me, Grodd. You keep saying repeatedly, you're reading my head, reading my mind. But the trust isn't in my head, or the truth isn't in my head. It's in my, you're looking in the wrong spot. And of course, this is Barry realizing that he should have trusted his family a little bit more. And kind of gives that little synopsis of like, look, I didn't trust them. I should have. I'm not going to raise a hand to them. So if you're going to kill me, go ahead and do it. And he's like, read my mind. But this is what I like. Not the next page. I don't like. This is what I hate right here. So you get some really good stuff. You get Grodd. So this is how you win Flash. How does Flash win? Oh, by a in the staple Blandis is coming ad. I cannot wait for him to start writing for DC so I can stop reading these ads and like this double page white spread just completely ruining the flow of a great story. Anyway, I digress. But, you know, he's like, you know, you're going to win with a moral victory. He's like, you sit here. He's like, all I needed was the Speed Force to be cured. And you steal what could have saved me. And I like this because Barry pretty much calls Grodd out. And then, you know, he's like, look, I know you're not going to... he's like, if I cured you, if I gave you the Speed Force, he's like, that wouldn't be enough. You're always going to want more power until the whole, you know, until everything's like ruled by you. And then, of course, that pisses Grodd off. But this is what I like here. So in this whole fighting, all the running around that Barry's been doing, it's all been a plan. He's been gathering pieces of the lightning rod, or things for the lightning rod, so he could adjust it to make a small, kind of calculated, you know, attack against Grodd. And I like that. This also really shows some growth in Barry, and, you know, I'm interested to see. So now there is a pretty significant, you know, I wouldn't say twist, but the end of this kind of really, I'm assuming the next issue will be the conclusion of this perfect storm. And yeah, it definitely puts a lot out there and puts a lot on the line. And I can't wait to see what issue 44. Joshua Williamson has been just killing it. Side note, if you haven't been reading Deathbed by him as well, pick that up. It's amazing. But yeah, sub over here, watch some more videos, hit me up in the comments, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you next time.